Hello everyone, the Vibe Koke returning for another What If. This one will probably only have another part and only be a two-parter, which, yeah, only because technically Deku's not the one who's going to be going to UA. Raven and Jinx are. They are transfer students to UA, American exchange students from, I'ma just say, Bruce Wayne High, because why not? Just in name alone, don't worry, they're not gonna be appearing, but yes, what if Deku was half demon? Let us go into his DC origin parents. You have a John Constantine, drunk out of his goddamn mind. This man is clapping some cheeks. Of course, it is, fellow drunken, uh, sorceress, Jasmine Blood, female Jason Blood, if you will. And it kind of gets into the point where it got kinky enough for Etrigan to take over. So Femme Etrigan takes over. Joan Knott's inside of Femme Etrigan, but she gets knocked up. It's kind of weird. Jasmine Blood would puke the very next morning thinking he was hungover, but no, the very next minute she turns into Etrigan and she runs towards Joan, slapping the shit out of this man as she begins to beat the hell out of him. It isn't until like Jasmine was able to barely control Etrigan as she figures it out once Etrigan kind of tags out and she knows why she was puking. John bleeding out of his goddamn everywhere. Healing spells himself. He heals himself as he's just saying, bloody hell, what was that for? As Jasmine then proceeds to punch him in the face, breaking his nose. He's saying, what the fuck? As then he's saying, I'm pregnant. But no, not impossible. I mean, I know we shagged, but as, yeah, you nutted in Etrigan, not in me. As he then goes, bollocks. As within the span of 9 days rather than 9 months, because demon, Izuku is born. Of course, there is a spell done while Jasmine is asleep because Etrigan don't want the baby, so she would snap the baby and kinda leave it somewhere on a doorstep in Japan where a black-haired baby with red eyes. He has horns and a tail, pointed ears. As Inka would open the door, she is sad at the death of Hisashi. She had recently lost him, but hey, here's Deku. She looks around and she sees a note, and it is in Japanese kanji, and it's saying, please raise him, name him even. I'm too young for the kid. So, hey, thank you. Deuces. Inko would, now raise Izuku. Now, Izuku, when he's roughly 5 years old, when everyone who thought he just had the weird devil-ish quirk, they would make fun of him, treat him like a villain, but Deku would just shrug his shoulders. He's saying he doesn't really care to be a hero or a villain. It doesn't really interest him. They think he was weird. Oh well. Bakugo would still think he's top shit and try to bully Izuku, but it backfires on him when he tries to do a little fireworks explosion towards Deku just to scare him, but Deku would speak backwards, because I can't do that. Just imagine as he's saying repel, but backwards. Leper. Lipper. I don't know. Shit like that. He says that as then Bakugo is just sent flying backwards and slams into the wall. As he's just like, that hurt. What the? As, Izuku's tail just starts moving around as electricity starts going off of his horns. Izuku holds his hand up as red flames form in his palm. Black lightning sparks around it as he's saying, well then, I've never fully tested this, Bakugo, but if we're gonna do it by your rules, I guess it's my turn, right? As he sticks out his hand. But right before he throws his own fire blast, he lets Bakugo go. He puts his hand down as Izuku seems to be in a trance. The teachers see that his eyes have completely gone red, and are dimming pure red as Izuku turns. He looks out the window. He senses something. What does he sense, you may ask? Well, this is where things get interesting, as, we cut to America. We have this young girl, purple hair, gray skin, as her powers started to manifest for the first time in a long time, as her mother thought that maybe, just maybe, she won't inherited some bad juju from her dad, which in this one, Trigon's not a demon, but a villain. Same with Jinx, which she's not a villain, but her parents were. So, yeah. Anyway, Raven would access her weird telekinetic ability with her hands obviously glowing black every time she uses it. It's really weird. When she uses her quote-unquote psychic powers, this dark aura manifests around Raven, and then whatever object she wants to move around, it too would be coated in this weird dark energy. She would then be able to make barriers of, close range, or even focus her power together and shoot a beam out of this weird malleable energy. They don't know what to call it. They just call it dark light, just for simplicity. As Jinx, she would be, her quirk would also awaken, and her eyes would glow pink when her quirk activates, as things would start to happen around her to people, and it would be very, unlucky things, misfortunate events that would be unforeseen for some people. A series of unforeseeable events, I guess you could say. As it was not Final Destination, but around that, as a lot of people do get hurt. But not Naruto, but Deku could sense this. He could feel these two out there. It was strange. He doesn't know why, but these two, it was like the only two smells that interest him. Like, if he were to go by picky eaters, someone who was not wanting to try new food, these would be the two things that, stand out to him, like he must have. So no, he would look out into the direction as his eyes would glow red. Seemingly enough, the other two girls would look towards where Izuku would be in their direction. As then they'd all pass out. No one knows what happened, but some magic bullshit. Anyway, time skip. Raven and Jinx have gone to UA. Now, Izuku has actually done online high school and proceeds to work rather than go to school. Since he's doing online classes, he doesn't really need to. Due to Inko getting sick, Deku, he works to buy his mom's medicine. He's offered to heal her, but no. She's just saying, it's fine, sweetie. I didn't get that bad, but no, she got that bad. So now, he doesn't know if he could heal cancer. So, yeah. Anyway, Izuku, he works to pay for Inko's chemotherapy. And, yeah, no, it's going well, but it's currently in remission, my bad. As, it's looking good for right now, but Izuku, he's been having this bad feeling recently, but he can't tell why. Anyway, he works at this little, tea shop, just barely outside. If you look right up the hill, you could totally see UA. Izuku, he would, take care of his, regulars. There would be this old man with a mustache and this pink-haired girl. He would know that she looks young, but she's actually in her 20s. But hey, you do you, my guy. You look like you in your 50s, but you also in your 20s. Damn. Well then, I misjudged you both. I apologize. Anyway, he would serve them their tea. He loves their tea there. Anyway, there would be some incident that happened just right here. You see, there would be this sludge villain. He would try and attack and rob them. Now, this would be the sludge villain that would have attacked Deku in the normal timeline, but we'll just say the events are happening slightly different location, different time, and yeah. Anyway, Izuku, he just kind of does his own thing. But when the sludge villain comes and they try to rob them, you have Gentle who would step up. La Brava would, come and record. Izuku's watching this, so he just sits back as the gentle criminal would actually be fending off the sludge villain, giving elasticity to the air, causing the sludge villain to kind of just bounce off of it still. It's really weird. He doesn't like this, but Gentle can't actually deal enough damage. Even with La Brava's I love you boost, it's still not enough to actually hit the monster. The sludge villain laughs, but as it goes to try and attack La Brava, this is when Izuku would snap his fingers. The sludge villain is paralyzed. There's this red aura coating it, as Izuku just casually floats over. And I do mean casually floats, as he's just saying, interesting. As he just sticks out two fingers. As then he's saying, now, incinerate. As it is engulfed with this bright crimson red flame. As seconds later, there is nothing left. No sludge, no nothing. Everyone's just going like, you, as Izuku's eyes are glowing red, as he gives them a smile, as, yeah, I just, took out the trash. It's my job. As, he would casually walk over to the bar, back over to his bar, the bar counter. I was trying to think bartender. No, he is the bartender. He's the barista. There we go, yes. You see Deku, a barista right now, he just goes back. He goes to just polishing some cups, gets some tea going ready, as La Brava and Gentle Criminal are in awe. They ask him, what does he think about joining them? I'm good. But if you want to post the video, I'll like and subscribe. As he tells them, he has interesting power, and so does she. If they ever, want some help, let him know. They might seem some interesting things, as, they nod, they leave. Now, here's where things get kind of interesting. You would have this one girl from UA. Her mother, told her that this is a place that sells the tea really close to where her school is. And since she's she could always send a chauffeur, but Momo's saying, yeah, no, I got this, Mom, because yes, it's Momo. Anyway, Momo would walk in. I love that, by the way. Kid Zeus is amazing. Anyway, as Izuku, he would nod. He would give Momo the said tea roots that she would require, as Izuku was just saying, small world, as she's just saying, as Izuku's saying, oh, I have a customer who also likes this. I don't mind it too much myself, as, she nods, as she's saying, oh, what do you like? As he says, just give me a minute. He goes to the back as he brings forth this black container with a red devil skull on it. He slams it on the counter as he's saying, well, you see, this is my special blend. Mama looks kinda... I might have bit off more than I can chew here. You're literally advertising this with a devil skull. Izuku's just like, well, he points to his face, he gestures, he gives her a devil smile. You know, his tail even flares up behind him as it does a simple like hand wave as if it was a hand waving to him, waving to her. As she's just like, oh, she's just thinking, fuck his quirk, of course. And then she's just thinking, well, at least he's not trying to be a villain. As Izuku, he knew what she thought because he could read minds. Anyway, he's just saying, yeah, good thing I didn't become a villain, right? As she's just saying, huh? As Izuku's just saying, yeah, I get that a lot. A lot of people think just because I look like a devil, they're thinking, well, it's only a matter of time where he's a criminal. I work like just down the one of the #1 hero schools in all of Japan, so probably not the best thing to do. And you seem to be a promising hero in the making, so like I said, this is my special blend. Now, he asks pretty much what is her quirk. She would explain her creation and using the liptids in her body, as Deku saying, well, this won't do liptids, but this should be a good substitute, as he then says that this tea is a special blend of herbs that were, drenched and watered with a certain crimson juice. This crimson juice would be a mixture of Shindra berries, Jupiter berries, some strawberries, cherries, red grapes, beets, even, Momo's eyes widened at that. And he's just like, I know, really weird. But, regardless, the nutrients of them were what grew into these plants. He then also says that, it might seem weird, but the mushroom and cactus that are in this blend are designed to take one's mind to a higher level. He explains that if she were to drink this, it's best not to, do it in the morning. More like a nightly tea time. Not to go to sleep, but just, when to unwind or when one wants to explore one's own mental state more. She's confused, but she takes it, she nods, as Izuku smiles, and if you don't know what I mean, he just gave her some, psychedelic tea herbs, plants, roots, cactus, and mushrooms. So when Momo would brew this and drink it, she is in for a trip. Because Deku wants to fuck with people. Anyway, back to the what if, as we time skip. It would actually be the day of the USJ event. Izuku actually got called by UA asking, hey, do you guys do delivery? Yeah. Well, we want to surprise our students, so can you do this, drink delivery for us at the USJ? We'll pay you. We have teachers there, we have students there, and we have a guest pro heroes there. Izuku's just like, okay. So he would go. Granted, on his way there, he would try and contact Aizawa in 13. He would try and contact the other 2 pro heroes that were listed there that were supposed to be there as guest stars to help, and no answer from the other one, but the other one kind of sent him, saying he's currently in a meeting with the principal, Nezu. So he's saying, oh, sorry, he was just on his way to the USJ and he couldn't get anyone to answer. Oh, that's weird. Nezu would proceed to yank the phone out of All Might's hand as he's saying, hello, who's this? As Nezu would hear Izuku speak, hey, yeah, delivery guy, drinks. I can't get anyone to answer me at the USJ. As Izuku would then say, hey, there's a guy running. He's in a weird white suit. He's running towards the US, running away from the USJ. As Izuku, he stops as he's saying, gotta go. As he hangs up, he rushes in because he feels the disturbance. So he rushes in. Now, this is literally just a minute after Ida left. So Kurogiri has now appeared right next to Shigaraki, who's doing that weird tweaker scratch, losing his shit moment. As, something happens. What happens, you may ask, as the doors burst open as flames go through. Now, Endeavor is pissed because he's just like, alright, then who the fuck thinks he can show me up with my flames? Because though he's doing decent against the Nomu, the regeneration is just too much. And yes, they did know that Endeavor was going to be here. So they do have another Nomu designed to fight Endeavor, and that one is, kind of winning. It's a whole ice and fire absorbing. So it shoots out a lot of water and ice attacks, a lot of wind pressure base. It has shock absorbent and flame absorbent and resistance. It even can shoot out Endeavor's flames back at it too. Think of like a full counter but with ice. Now, Izuku just casually just walks down. We cut to this perspective of the shipwreck zone as you have Tsuyu, Raven, Jinx, and Mineta. Mineta is like, I wish I was manly enough to impress the babes, but I'm crying like a bitch. As Raven and Jinx just like, oh, wow. They both are just looking on towards the entrance because they see the flames burst through. Tsuyu also sees it, like, what do you think happened? As Raven, she's just saying, I don't know. As Izuku would, casually just walk down the stairs. 13, she's just saying, who are you? As Izuku was just, like, ignoring her. The students are just seeing Izuku casually walk down. He sets down the drink containers that he has from the students that avoided it, as he's saying, so, let's see your guys' shit. It's, currently out of whack. So, I got drinks for your students and your teachers, your guests, called All Might. He's saying he'll look into it, so I don't know if he'll be here, but I did see that one kid running back, so who knows. However, I think it's time I have some fun. Shigaraki's just like, Nomu, kill the brat, as it would rush towards Izuku, as Izuku would simply just slap it away with his tail, and I do mean it, just his simple tail slapped the Nomu. The same musclehead Nomu that's supposed to take all my punches got its shit slapped by Izuku's tail, crashing into the fucking mountain area. Kurogiri and Shigaraki are just like, what the? As Izuku's just saying, damn, that kind of stung my tail. Izuku then points his finger at Kurogiri as a small little red orb would appear. It's glowing bright. Heat is radiating off of it as it starts to change. It goes from a nice crimson bright red to a dark, ominous red, slowly turning into a blackish red, almost completely black with barely the faintest of a red outline, as Izuku says, now, Hellfire Bullet, as he points his finger straight at Shigaraki and shoots it. The Ice Nomu would try and take the attack, which Izuku knew it would. Izuku would smile as, the Ice Nomu would purposely take the Fire Blast, which, once it hit, it quickly engulfed into black flames. It screams out in agony as it falls to the ground, turning into ash in a matter of moments. Shigaraki and Kurogiri, they're like, okay, I think we kind of fucked up here. I don't know what he is. As Shigaraki, he would point to Izuku as he asks Kurogiri, the fuck is that? As Izuku would appear, have his tail wrapped around Shigaraki's arm, and then proceed to break it. Shigaraki would scream in pain as Izuku would then kind of do Shigaraki dirty as he proceeds to palm strike him. As Izuku's saying, I always wanted to try this out. I saw it in this one anime, so bear with me. As though Shigaraki has one of his arms tied, Izuku is just like, 1 palm, 2 palm, 3 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms. As each hit with his fingertips, you see little emblems of fire sprouting out of Shigaraki's body as burn marks are going through him. Rather than, hitting chakra points, Izuku's just stabbing at Shigaraki at random locations, having fire shoot out of his fingertips and straight through Shigaraki, cauterizing any and all wounds that he's making, honestly. He's literally just stabbing Shigaraki at random places. He's just making it seem like he's knowing what he's doing. As Shigaraki gets hit with a 64 palm devil style. As he gets sent flying, there are 64 holes in his body as he screams out, as he convulses, as his body is twitching from the pain. As soon he passes out due to his body not wanting to experience this, Izuku's just saying, I didn't actually think that would work. As Kurogiri scowls at Izuku, as Izuku kind of laughs, as, Endeavor and Aizawa are looking at him like, what the fuck? As Izuku just looks at them saying, honestly, I have no idea what I was poking at. I just kept on hitting him where I thought it'd look cool. I don't know. I saw it in an anime. And then he looks over. He sees the shipwreck zone about to be cut. He sees the water giant hand about to cut into the ship as, in a single snap, the water starts to boil as it's quickly evaporating. The villains are screaming out, which it only takes moments before the screams are drowned out by the massive amount of steam just engulfing all of the USJ. No one can fully see anything. Of course, Kurogiri and Shigaraki would take this golden opportunity to take Shigaraki out of the USJ. Deku, he would appear on the shipwreck zone, on the boat. Tsuyu, she passed out. Mineta, she passed out. He passed out, my bad. As Jinx and Raven, they're barely conscious, but they're almost overheated. Raven was able to put up a barrier around them, but Tsuyu, her amphibianness kind of backfired on her. Mineta, he's just bitch made, so he passed out. Mostly out of fear. Anyway, Izuku would look at Raven and look at Jinx as he smiles as he's saying, so, it's been a couple years, but I was right. As he would casually walk over to the two. Raven's hero costume looks just like in Teen Titans, and so does Jinx's costume. She just has, support and aid kit. Just really acrobatic. She's pretty much the perfect counter to Toga. So, Izuku would casually just place one hand on both of their cheeks, on their face. He caresses Raven's left side and Jinx's right side. He then pulls them in. And no, he doesn't kiss them. He just gently places his forehead on theirs. Like a three-way collision. It looks weird, I know. But at that very instant, the three are pulled into a different world. Izuku looks at the two. All three of them butt naked. The two girls, they would cover up, but they see how Deku isn't. His demonic origins are still there. They could see that this man has the black tail, the horns, the ears, the claws. And, well, he's hiding it under his clothes, but yes, he does have a pair of black bat devil wings. As, he looks at them. He shrugs his shoulders and saying, I got nothing to hide. As, the two look at each other and then, they do uncover themselves, but they do feel kind of weird around him. As he asks, You know, do they want to be with him or either one of them? Surely they must have felt him at one point, right? They actually do not. The two are curious. Who does he want? Izuku's saying, I'd probably be okay with, either one of you. I'd personally want both. They looked at him like, yo, the fuck? Nah, man. It ain't like that. As, Izuku's just like, eh. I mean, if you guys don't want to share, then I'll let you guys decide who wants it more. Win me over. As, the two girls look at each other, they both have faced some hate for not only their quirks, but their ancestry. Izuku would clearly, point this out that they all have that in common, and that's actually probably why they could sense each other. Izuku could sense them despite how far away they were. And he did feel uneasy today. He didn't know that he would actually meet the one or ones that he's supposed to spend the rest of his life with. Raven and Jinx would blush, as Jinx saying she doesn't mind. Raven would be like, I mean, I don't know. It's just... Izuku would walk up to her as he's saying, look, I mean, if you don't want to be in a relationship, that's fine. We could still be friends. Raven would blush, and she's saying, can we start as friends? Izuku would smile as he gives her a kiss on the forehead. The red diamond would now form as he's saying, sure. Jinx would be like, hey, what about, as Izuku would pull her in and give her a tongue kiss. A red diamond would then form on her tongue. The two do not know this, but now Izuku pretty much can find them whenever, wherever, and if need be, open a portal to them rather than just, casually stroll up to them. Not be creeper, but if, in case of emergency, open portal. Diamond teleports them. Simple as that. Now, this is where things do get a little bit different from our story. You see, since All Might shows up after Shigaraki and Kurogiri leave, the Nomu who got his shit slapped into the mountain range is just there. But before Izuku could incinerate it, you would have them, the heroes, stop him and try and investigate him and ask him, hey, why are you here? Izuku's just saying, oh yeah, the drinks. As he would then create a massive firewall between him, Endeavor, and Shoto Aizawa, as this man jumps straight up into the air, breaks through the glass, and disappears from them. Nezu would try and contact Izuku, and Izuku would tell him, hey, don't worry about it. Hangs up, disappears. The tea shop that Deku would once work at now actually is closed. He would actually contact Gentle and La Brava about, hey, I'm relocating for my tea shit, so let me know. As we now cut to Shigaraki and Kurogiri. Shigaraki is put in a special Nomu chamber that is filled with this fluid that is supposed to help heal them really fast, as they've never seen injuries like this before. Not Shigaraki, but All For One is pissed at what happened to Shigaraki, as there is someone at the door. Who's here? Kurogiri. Check. As before he can open the door just swings open. A tail slaps Kurogiri, sending him back as Izuku walks in. And he's just saying, hey, are y'all hiring bartenders? They look at him like, boy, are you fucking insane? You almost killed my guy. As Izuku's just saying, yeah, but I just wanted to see if my attack could work. I didn't think he'd be so weak. All for One tries not to kill Izuku, and although he's curious on his quirk, which, no, it's not a quirk, he's legit just a half demon with magic powers that can summon flames, lightning, and soon he'll learn magic. Don't worry about that. Now, ow. This is where one thing I will say. My gosh, I'm tired. Actually, I'm tired, damn. Izuku, once he's with Jinx and Raven, yet again, because it won't take long for them to find them, as he would tell them he got a job. The tea shop that he works at, no more. It gone. His two clients, like his regulars, they know where to find him now. But, hey, don't tell them you know about me. As Raven and Jinx would nod, Shigaraki, well, not Shigaraki, but All for One would tell him, hey, make them my spies. As Izuku would say, you touch them and I'm killing your brat. And I'm torching this whole shit down. As, you know, hey, I got it. I don't fuck with your lady friends. You don't destroy my son again. As Izuku's saying, I know it's not your actual son. So, whose kid is he? As this is where something that I'm changing. And this is only because I want this to hurt All Might. But All for One would pull out a Nana Shimura, who's actually frozen. Suspended animation, if you will, as she's in a state of half death. All for One, he wanted to make her into a Nomu, but the fragments of One for All had actually rejected anything and everything, and her original quirk float couldn't have been stolen. Regardless, he decides, just keep the body. It could be useful for something. All for One never used it for lonely nights. I must say that now. And he does not tell Shigaraki about it. Now, Izuku realizes this. Oh, this is gonna be fun. As he would go to Nana Shimura, he would place his hand on her chest. She would then proceed to glow with this red energy. Black lightning would form around Izuku and then going to Nana. The lightning then goes from black to red to white as she opens her eyes. Her eyes glow red for a minute and then return back to normal. As Izuku saying, hey Nana, how are you? As she looks over to All for One, she flips him off. As then she wraps her arms around Izuku. As she proceeds to give Izuku a big thank you tongue kiss, which Izuku does not fight. Izuku is now making out with Nana Shimura, who he kind of just brought back from the state of half death. And yeah, Nana Shimura is not Nana Shimura in a sense. It's kind of like succubus spirit also fusing in with her, but Izuku doesn't know necessarily. But it's still Nana, but not Nana. It's Nana succubus. Now, Nana succubus, or just regular Nana, after she finishes sucking Izuku's mouth, Izuku would tell her there are other places for her to work, as she smiles. All for One is just saying, hey, I'm right here. Her fucking grandson is the one who you damn near killed. As Izuku, well, Nana's giving him head, he's just saying, and? As he gives All for One this exact same look as he turns around. As he looks at him and saying, is that my last cherry popsicle? As Izuku takes a bite and saying, and? As All for One is just saying, I might be a villain, but you was a fucking demon. As Izuku just shrugs his shoulders, as, Nana steady glows, as Izuku, he would wrap his tail around on his throat, choking her ever so slightly, making her pick up the tempo, pick up the pace as Izuku finishes in Nana's mouth. Nana would gleefully, swallow her first protein shake in, eons, as, she wants to get back on her workout gym, so she needs a protein shake. I know, it's terrible, and some of you might hate me, but it's funny. Anyway, fucking hell. As we now have Izuku and Nana Shimura out at night, there's a certain someone who he's barely making a name for himself. He's only attacked like 3 heroes, but he's attacked 3 heroes nonetheless. Izuku and Nana end up finding this man right as he was about to attack this one weird guy. It was strange. I mean, it's just a fodder hero. My bad, I didn't mean to yawn. As fodder hero, we'll go with Death Arms. Why not? As Death Arms was about to die, as Izuku and Nana would seemingly save him. But Stain, he would recognize Nana. He would point out how Izuku looks kind of weird. But Izuku would tell him, what can I say? I was just born to be different. As Izuku would rush and hit Stain with a severe combo of just fists, knees, and elbow strikes, as Nana Shimura, she watches, gleefully watching as Izuku unloads unbridled fury with his taijutsu-esque combat. And I know I said taijutsu, but what else do you want me to say? These hands rated E for everybody. This man is just fighting Stain barehanded, and he's winning. Stain can't cut Izuku, and whenever he tries, Izuku could use his tail to stop Stain's arm. He'd use his tail to box Stain's knee. It's really inconvenient for Stain. However, the fight goes to Izuku. But before Izuku kills him, or attempts to do any of that, he would offer Stain a position to join him. Now, Izuku, he decides that he doesn't like the Hero Society. He's getting really sick and tired of people kinda looking at him for how he looks, about his weird demon devil look. Izuku would tell him how, right now, he currently is working with the League of Villains, kind of as a bartender. His job as a barista got fucked when they attacked the USJ. Since he kind of showed his face, things kind of got difficult for him to keep a regular job. So working with the League of Villains right now. However, I have ambitions. As he admits, he met with this one guy. And he was kind of cool. He had this weird mustache about him. His associates were also there, but my bad, I don't mean to yawn. But no, his associates, they were there, and they had a similar outlook for Izuku. Well, a similar outlook to Izuku. You see, these four, they wanted no restriction on their quirks. For people to use their quirks and whatever their quirks are, however they need be. Their leader, he pretty much took over what his father had left behind. He has a quirk where all the stress that he has becomes an augmented power boost. He has another general, or someone in his cog, if you will, who he can make puppets out of objects, and then he could mimic and manipulate them. He has this other person who named Gotten. He has this insane OP ice ability. So, yeah, that's pretty fun. Anyway, there's this other guy who if you believe in him, you seem to get stronger. Kind of weird, but Deku doesn't really mind about him. This other girl with blue skin and green eyes. Oh, that one. That one, she was wild. She had a good mouth on her, too. As he looks at Nana, and he's saying, ours is better, though. As Stain would look at Izuku, then look at Nana, then look at Izuku, and he's saying, aren't you, like, fucking in high school? Izuku's just saying, yeah, I take online classes. I'm trying to graduate early. Look, anyway, don't worry about what she does. As not Izuku, but Stain is just like, but that's Nana Shimura. She's a former pro hero. Izuku is just like, yeah, I know. She's a pro blower. What do you want me to say, Stain? Like, I found her. She was in a state of half consciousness, and due to my quirk's abilities, I'm able to bring her back. She's not too thrilled with how the world has become, and although she's fine with Toshinori, Yagi, her student, and his work, she believes that there are still some improvements that he should have made, so it's on her, as his teacher, to help improve the world symbol of peace's outlook. Now, once he said that, Stain's eyes would widen, as he's just like, so, it is true. Nana Shimura and All Might were master and student. Izuku's just saying, oh, there's a lot more you should know about their quirks. As Stain's eyes widen, you know of their quirks, as Izuku's just like, Nana told me everything that I needed to know. Join me. Serve me. I have two other friends who you might be interested in with. They too were discriminated for their quirks. One who tried to be a hero in this hero society. They shunned him for his weird ability. Not his weird ability, they shunned him because of his strategy and his outlook. He tried harder than most people. They thought his quirk was useless, the ability to give elasticity to objects, any surface he touches. But he trained, and he showed how useful that quirk could be for villainy. His companion is a short stack, yeah, but nothing that, he doesn't really care, They like each other, so he lets them be. But Stain, my guy, your ideology, you're missing some things, and I'm only here to help you out. As Izuku offers his hand out to Stain, as, Death Arm is just like, kid, you would sell your soul to a devil? As Izuku is just saying, do you not see the horns? The tails? I get told by heroes like you that it's only a matter of time before I go down that path. Well, I decided, let's change it up a little bit. Let's change the hero part. Let's change the villain part. Let's do away with the titles. Let's throw the script away. Fuck the pages and fuck the norm. Hero society will crumble. The villain society will also evolve. Blend and mix as that's a good one. As I'll watch it later though. As Izuku, he smiles. As Stain would take his hand. Fuck. Oh, my jaw popped too. Anyway, Izuku reaches out his hand to Stain. Stain takes his hand. They smile. As then Izuku's tail would stab through Stain's chest, killing him instantly. Which Death Arms is just like, what the? As Izuku pulls his tail back, throws Stain's unconscious body, as then Nana Shimura would jump on Izuku, giving a kiss on the cheek as Izuku smiles, as he's saying, so, I see. Killing someone gets you going, doesn't it? As she nods very lustfully, as she's drooling at the mouth. Death Arms is just like, it couldn't be. As Izuku looks at Death Arms, as he's saying, well, I can't really say no to being watched, but as Izuku teleports behind Death Arms, as he's above him, Izuku plants his foot at the back of Death Arms' head, slamming his face into the pavement, knocking him out as Izuku goes back to Nana Shimura, where he proceeds to rip off her clothes, bend her over, stick his dick in her ass, and fuck her until the day comes. No, I don't mean until Deku comes, until the day comes. It's literally sunrise, and people are seeing Izuku fuck Nana Shimura in the streets still. This man is full exhibitionist. As Izuku senses something, rage and danger deep within UA, as he would disappear with Nana and a dark vortex behind them. Kurogiri, he's just like, I can't fucking believe you did that. As back to the spot, All Might would crash down, destroying damn near the whole block, as he would be looking around saying, where are they? Where is he? As, he's pissed. He's pissed off for someone to defile Nana's memory and having them turn into her like that, to do such things in public. How dare they? As all for one, he's just looking at Izuku. He just starts clapping. He's saying, I've misjudged you. Okay, so, while I do not appreciate you hurting Tomura, what you did was nonetheless something that I never thought of or would have attempted. So, congratulations. Not as yours to do with whatever. As Izuku's just saying, yeah, no, I got 2 other girls that I want to handle, so Nana, do you mind? As Nana would shake her head, as she playfully and seductively crawls to her knees, gets on her knees and crawls to offer one, as she undoes his pants with her teeth. All for one's eyes, if he had eyes, would widen, as Nana would give him head, as he's looking at Izuku, as Izuku's just saying, I trained her well, as he has that devil smile, as Izuku turns into pure flames, disappearing, as he appears in the room of Jinx and Raven. You see the 2 are currently studying together. Jinx would go to her counter, pull out a package, open it up as Raven would push Jinx on the bed. The 2 would start to undo their top buttons as Izuku smiles, as he's saying, I'm glad you 2 are ready. And I'm going to end the video here.